Доброго.
Good afternoon. This is Media Center Ukraine, Odessa, and our briefing is dedicated to the Odesa-Leipzig Neighborhood Book Bridge work. Our first speaker is Kateryna Ilyichova, coordinator of the first Odesa-Leipzig Neighborhood Book Bridge. Good afternoon. I would like to welcome everyone. I would like to ask all Odessa residents to join this first pilot project, Odesa-Leipzig Neighborhood Book Bridge. This project is organized by the School of Neighborhood Culture. In peaceful times, the Neighborhood Culture School used to organize bright and vivid flash mobs in spring to bring attention to the neighborhood culture. But all of us have now new challenges because of the war. And the neighborhood level has increased because now a lot of women, mothers, daughters, grandmothers are in Europe to preserve lives of their children. And now the neighborhood is on another level because our current neighbors are ordinary European cities and towns. And our children have been living in different culture and learning new language for more than a year now. And they try to adapt and adjust to the new situation, but at the same time, they should preserve their connection with the homeland. And I believe that thanks to books with tales, stories, children could feel again the connection with their homeland, with their home, because we believe that language is a unique cultural code that our children shall preserve. Ukrainians are united regardless of their whereabouts, and Ukrainians should read Ukrainian books, because books are unique bridges bringing children back to their culture. Our project is not only about material, but also about spirit values. This is the gesture of unity, showing that Ukrainians are united. And also, this is our thank you to European cities and towns that are now hosting a lot of Ukrainians. And this gesture shows that we care about them, that we are thankful, and that we are ready to open our culture. Because till recent moment, no Ukrainian books could be found in Leipzig libraries. But thanks to the efforts of Ukrainians who are now staying in Leipzig, the books are there in libraries, but the choice is quite limited. There are no tales and fairy tales and stories. And I believe that Ukrainian literature shall be included in the European cultural environment. And this is kind of a bridge between countries. And I'm addressing Odessa. And in our neighborhood culture, we're well aware of Odessa traditional yards. And not only Europeans support us, but we can see also efforts of different Odessa yards within the School of Neighborhood Culture. And we're thankful to them. We want to be at the same level with them because we're all neighbors. Odessa has a unique neighborhood culture. You can't find anything like this in Europe. Now, a lot of people support us, but for them, neighborhood culture is something unique. When residents of different yards can get together and to thank for the support. I'd like to say that we are going to organize events that will be held in Odessa yards, and Nadiya or Mitya could share more details about this. And also there will be books that will be sent to Leipzig. They will not only be donated to local libraries, but they will be used for a range of events organized for children, both Ukrainian children with their mothers and German children, because they adore different children events. We have small NGOs here that will support us with translation and interpretation for German children to learn more about characters of books of Ukrainian culture. And this shows that we are ready to have a kind of a culture blend. Thank you. Our next guest is the founder of the Neighborhood Culture School, is Mitya Kovbasyuk. Good afternoon, Odessa. Good afternoon, Leipzig. Good afternoon, Kateryna. Kateryna was the first to understand the need which is there. In Leipzig, in the city council, they told us that that was quite a complicated task and that they couldn't even imagine how to solve the issue. Where to find the children's books, first of all, how to bring them to Leipzig. And Kateryna offered her solution that we have our famous Odessa yards. They're different. They also have a lot of books. And actually, not only Odessa is involved in the process, Poltava has also joined us. And this is how the pilot project Odesa-Leipzig has emerged, and we hope that other cities and towns will be involved in this process. There are other cities and towns in Poland, in Germany, where a lot of Ukrainians are now staying, and there are a lot of children who would be glad to get some Ukrainian fairy tale books, not to forget about their culture. So how does it work? We collect books that are in good condition, that will be interesting for children. I can show you the example now. This is a new book in perfect condition, and this is for children aged 3 to 12. But there are some limitations. So these books can be also for adults, but children are our primary focus. Of course, these books should be interesting. They should show modern Ukrainian culture, and this is pulp fiction. Coordinators in our yards collect these books. We have the posters to announce. 7 yards from Odessa have already joined this process. People bring books and organize different events, because our idea is not only to collect and to provide books, but we have one more aim, and Nadiya Manushkina, coordinator of the Book Bridge in Odessa, will share details. We do not want just to collect books without involving our children, because our children who stay here lack attention. They want more activities in their yards. That's why first we decided just to collect books and then to read them and to illustrate them, to make a small performance. And we started even creating puppets for these performances. Those children who will be involved in these activities will be emotionally involved, and they love to draw. For example, this is how they see Ukraine now. Of course, they have Ukrainian hearts. And boys draw tanks. Unfortunately, this is our reality. And one more beautiful drawing, this beautiful heart. And here you can find all flags of the world. In one of the yards, after reading, children decided to draw something. And this book is about Ukrainian landmarks. And these are just magic books with beautiful illustrations. And this will remind children about their culture. And this will be also interesting for example, children from Germany, who will learn about our culture. Some children write letters. We do not know what, for example, is this letter about, but I think we will collect the letters and we'll send them together with books. From Poltava, we've got this beautiful book about characters of Gogol's books, seen by children. And here you can find drawings from some drawing schools who draw some characters after reading Gogol's books. Perhaps the illustrations will be not that professional in our case, but this is very important to convey energy from our children. And perhaps this is the most valuable thing, because this book are charged with love. So we are waiting for the children back, or they can stay there, because we don't know what destiny they will have. But this is very important to have emotional exchange. So we collect books and we organize different interesting events in Odessa yards until the 22nd of July this year, because we want to finalize this action by the Independence Day of Ukraine in August, and I would like to send books to Leipzig. And of course, this all is about inclusion, because we are not only buying books in our shops, but we would like emotions to be involved in this process. We want our children to be included in these activities. And inclusion is also one of the values of our neighborhood culture school. We have 4 values in our neighborhood culture school and 4 systems. And one of them is communication. This is how we communicate with each other. And this is the whole process: to collect books, to bring them to coordinator, to organize events in yards, and also to organize the whole way, the whole path, and just to establish the whole bridge from Odessa to Leipzig. From people from Odessa, from yards from Odessa, to Kateryna, to city council, and to libraries in Leipzig. And it is very important to convey our love, which is the most important. Yes, it's easy to discuss it, but how to make it true, how to live together, how to communicate, how to settle disputes, and how to decrease the number of conflicts. And for this, we organize the basic course for neighborhood culture. We'll also announce the event that we are going to have by the end of summer, after we've sent the first consignment of our books to Leipzig. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. I would like to thank our audience, and our next briefing will take place at 3 p.m. It will be dedicated to impact of the explosion at Kakhovka hydroelectric dam on agrarian sector of Ukraine.